We are back, everybody, with another One Piece video. And boy, isn't it good to hear our voices. Brago, say hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We are back with the best One Piece chapter we've had all year. I'm super excited for this backstory, man. I cannot wait to talk about Brook and Kendall.
Oh, Brook and Kendall. Honestly, jokes aside, it's a good flashback. Not a lot of meat on the bones because it's a very short chapter.
The flashback just started, but when we rank it in comparison to other flashbacks at the start of other flashbacks, is it towards the top?
I'd say it's towards the top. We're starting strong. Oda managed to wrap up Brook's tragic childhood life in one chapter. I think it's good. The trajectory, too. Like, we got to imagine what we're going to get next chapter and beyond. It could absolutely be peak. We could get Candel as a Holy Knight, if that's true. We can get Emu and the Knights of God and how that all goes down. We're going to get the Man Mayors. Oda, he's been hiding that Man Mayor girl, right? The one at God Valley. Every time we see her, dude, we don't get the eyes. What's up with that? Here's the thing. Since Gunko becomes Man Mayor, we're finally going to get to see what's up. Maybe she also has heterochromia eyes too. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the flashback. Like you said, the highs could be very high in comparison to even like a Zoro flashback or a Sanji flashback, or even a Kuma flashback, where like that's a bit different though. But like imagine like the uprising with King Bakori and stuff like that. We're gonna surpass the likes of that. And I think one thing Elbaph has done, and has done an amazing job of, I think, over the entirety of the arc, is surpassing expectations. Where we've had some lows or some moments in Elbaph where it's been slow, but then it comes back like with a haymaker for like 2 or 3, 4, 5 chapters. It's like, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal. So I agree with you. The flashback is a good flashback. It's starting really well. It's just the typical thing that happens in One Piece arcs where the ebbs and flows, right? Where it's just like, okay, we're up here with like the Emu reveal. And it's like, oh my God, Goda is back. And then we go through the ebbs where it's like, all right, Oda probably is giving us this flashback to add more context to what's going on with Emu and Loki. So it's tough. Week to week is tough in general.
Yeah.
Especially when we get a short chapter and we're going into break. It's like, oh my gosh, you want more. But I think you just kind of have to lean on what's happened in the past, bro. Like Oda's delivered, continues to deliver. It's like,
take it on the chin. I feel like that's how I feel about it now, right? Do I wish we had a more meaty chapter? 100%. But guess what? One Piece isn't going to be here forever. So I say, take it in stride. It's just a slower week. All it is. Nothing wrong with that. And hear me out. Today, me and Brago are going to discuss the ebbs and flow of this flashback and how high we can truly get. And you guys know what's up. If you read 1184, you know that one character in particular is rearing his ugly ass head. And we're both expecting him to show up pretty damn soon. He's got a lot of buildup, and nobody knows when he was actually going to show up. But Don Murone, he's been the boogeyman of this flashback. Last chapter, he attacked Queen Candel with his goons. He wasn't there at the Opera House. This chapter, he's smuggling drugs. And here's the thing. We knew about the West Blue 5 families for a long time now. We're finally getting them in Elbaph. Weirdly enough, right? You would think that Capone Beige would give us those guys, but nope. Here we go. We got Don Marlone in the Rocks flashback, Harold flashback, Loki flashback, and now we have Don Murone here in Brook's flashback. Are you expecting him to be absolutely peak? And why?
I love Capone. Capone grew on me. I love the family. I like how they do things, all right? Marlon. Thought he was cool. Thought he was, he did his thing. God Valley, kind of relegated to somewhat of a background character, but he was necessary, With Don Marone, or some people call him in the West Blue, Don Moron, Don Moron. That's what we call him over there.
Can't believe Oda did that to him.
I I expect him to look similar to like Capone and Marlon, like right, where it's like the typical gangster,
kind of big,
just has the look, right? The look of like a guy that's leading a family.
He just eats a little bit too much spaghetti,
but he talks like this, and he's really serious. I guess when I think about it, he's gonna be built up, but he can only be built up so much considering like who he's going against, right? I don't know why. When I think about Moron or Marone, I think about Blue Jam.
Like he's strong against the people he's fighting, but in the grand scheme of things, he's not like super strong.
He's not much, and I think he's gonna get lost in the shuffle, especially if Emu shows up here, as we expect, or some semblance of Emu showing up, taking over Shuri. So he's just gonna get lost in the shuffle. So I expect different families. Oda might try to tie it together a little bit, but
Do you think we're going to get the other families? Because we know there's 5. We don't know like if they interconnect or if it's the same family changed over time. But so far we have Capone, we got Marlon, and we have Murone. We're just missing 2 of the West Blue 5. If, of course, they're not like already stacked on top of each other there. Do you think we're going to get the others?
If there's a time, no, I think right now it would make sense, right? I think we get the others.
Yeah.
But it's just how much can we get considering how long we think the flashback is going to go. My prediction for the flashback is like 2 or 3 chapters left, where we have a flashback leading to the incident. So by the end of the next chapter, we get the incident happening, and then the next chapter is the incident happening, and then we are the flashback. So at max 2 or 3. Like if Oda starts to introduce like other families, I mean, it can happen in 2 pages. It doesn't take much to introduce the families, right? We could have like a round table, like after Marone, after he gets like ousted, they might have a meeting like, yo, we got to get rid of like King Leuven and those guys. They're kind of bad for business. And then we see all the families as like a round table, like we saw on Whole Cake Island, right? Like the gangster meeting.
Yeah. They're going to have like the Bleach Rancor meeting. Yeah.
Like the gangster Gastino reveal. We might see something like that, So it doesn't take much for it to happen. And they could be involved in the like eradication of Esperia for the most part. But
maybe the world government hires them to destroy Esperia. Could be a ploy.
The only thing is, what's the tie-in here? How does Emu tie in? Because we know that Shuri killed her dad. Now Emu can do like the satellite takeover, where he doesn't have to be there necessarily.
Yeah.
But, is a mark needed? Is like some kind of, or can you just do it like off rip? Like, does Kandel have to plant something on Shuri? I don't know. But it's just like, but if Emu shows up in Esperia, and again, we talked about Esperia before, and it has to be important considering the music with Emu and Luffy. So it could be something deep and dark happening here. But, and then, we've mentioned that movie time and time again, where
I love that movie.
It keeps getting mentioned. I'm getting sick of it. I'm really getting sick of it.
What? Wasn't your last video like almost entirely dedicated to talking about Film Red?
Yeah, and it put me out for a week.
Every One Piece YouTuber had to do it. I saw that even Tekken had to hop in. For the thumbnail for last week's video, I even put top music up. Man, Film Red, it's gonna be here. And here's the thing. We're wondering how Emu ties into this. If Kandel is a Holy Knight, still unconfirmed, but if she is, people are wondering, what's her plan? Why is she here? Maybe she's here for like a top music sheet. Maybe something is in Esperia. It's crazy. Maybe something is in Esperia that only the royal family has, and that's why Kandel has to marry in with Leuven. This is her mission.
It makes a lot of sense for it to be something in Esperia that they're searching for, that they're trying to uncover. Maybe it's the family jewels, for Prince Leuven and that family. But Esperia has to be important. I mean, once the world government, Emu, they set their eyes on an island, it doesn't really last long. You know what I mean? So whatever they uncover here, I think it was significant enough where they're like, Esperia doesn't have to exist anymore. We're like, let's get rid of it. So it's gonna be significant. Is it like you said, a music note? Is it an instrument? It could get really freaky really quickly.
Oh, 1,000,000%. And if we want to tie Don Marone into a grander plot line, it could be a plot line where, like, Emu or the world government's like, hey, we don't want to get our hands dirty. Let's contact this nasty ass West Blue family. They'll do anything for money.
Yeah.
And that's how it's all coming to be.
Like I said, Garling did this exact thing. Now, Garling, he didn't, he wasn't there that long, but he ended up having kids, based on his reconnaissance from God Valley. So Candel having, a child, it's just a long con.
And here's the thing too, right? If Candel is a God Knight, there's a chance she's probably getting knocked up on the side too. Like, it doesn't have to be Leuven's. Like, easily, Candel could say, hey, King Leuven, my husbando, I am going to the Holy Land to talk to the world government. She goes there, and then she gets freaky with one of those celestial dragons, and she comes back and she's like, oh, Leuven, I got your kid. It's like, okay. Like, Gonko doesn't have to be Leuven's kid 100%. There can be some nasty shenanigans here.
We have to think about the fact that Leuven was not in charge, per se, when Candel was a part of things, right? We haven't seen Leuven's dad, so he could already be controlled by...
Compromised.
Right. He could already be compromised where, like, he's kind of being controlled, and Candel being a plant has nothing to do with Leuven. Leuven is just like, an innocent bystander, right? And so it has to matter. Asperia has to matter. It has to be something major, something significant that leads to, like, them saying, all right, we're good. We got everything we need here. Like, let's get rid of it now. Right. And it has to be like a fight back too, right? They're like fighting back against the world government, And for Leuven, it's the unfortunate thing, I guess, when it comes to Emu, but this is Emu's bag. I control the king so I can control the country. And, typically if they don't agree or things don't go the best, the kings, they just die.
Since we don't know how the former king of Asperia died, it could be that maybe they want something from him. He says no. So now Leuven's here. He also says no. They kill him too. Like, they could just be going down this ringer over and over and over. And it could be Queen Candela who's doing it, right? If we learn that the former king's been poisoned, it's like, all right, this is looking really sus, man. A while back, you mentioned that you do think that there is a Queen Candel Mihawk connection. We'll get more into that here in a little bit. Do you think that Queen Candel right now is a God Knight? I guess that's a good one, because we've been beating around the bush, but do you believe in that? If you had to put your foot down.
Yes. Yes, I believe that Candel is a God Knight. I don't know how that we talked about it. I don't know how the pairing makes sense with Leuven and Candel. I just don't see it.
All right, man. Come on. Personality matters, dude. It's funny. We talked about this before, and somebody said, guys, don't lie. Like, I know personality doesn't count. It's like, come on. No, it's... Sure, it might not be like a deciding factor, but it's there. It's there.
No, I mean, she could be like Shuri, where she's attracted to him because of music and strength, I guess. But it gets to
strength
a point.
In quotation marks.
Yeah.
Leuven's kind of like Blue Jam, where I bet he's strong in the West Blue, but outside of this island, I don't know.
Yeah, it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't know if I believe that.
He's not exactly stacking up to like Roxy Zabek or Roger or Garp or anybody like that.
There's some aura panels that he has. I can't lie about that. Yeah. He has a few panels. I'm like, okay.
He's got like Dr. Hero look energy where he means well. I bet he could put up a fight against like commoners, but I can't see Leuven beating pirates. You know what I mean? He's fighting Marines who aren't fighting back.
When he says those are some rotten lyrics, did you write them yourself? I don't know, man. There was some aura in that panel. Well, it wasn't what he said. It's how he looked. What he said is whatever. But how he looked in that panel, I was like, okay. Yeah, he looked crazy initially at the beginning of the flashback when he met Brook. Then he started looking more like Brook the happier he got. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So, no. I think at the end of the day, Candel is a plant. She is not there because of her undying love for Prince Leuven. I don't see
Yeah.
it.
That brings us to the Mihawk plot point where she and Mihawk are the only characters in the whole series that share the same Dawn font. Everybody else has the same stagnant, bold font. Only Queen Candel and Mihawk have this special one. Very interesting choice. It sounds crazy, harebrained. It reminds me of like the Akainu one, right? And this is all
The
but
Hibari
confirmed.
thing.
Yeah. Akainu and Hibari are the only two characters in the entire series who have the same dialect. And guess what?
Yeah.
In spin-off series, it's father-daughter. So there's a good chance that that is Akainu's daughter, and it's just going to get confirmed later. So this being the connecting point between her and Mihawk, and the fact that Mihawk isn't born yet, it could be a case where, Candel is Mihawk's real mother or grandma. And if she is a god knight and she doesn't age, and she stays like this, it could fit.
It is certainly possible. Mihawk was, we said it, Mihawk is going to be very important, bro. He has to be. If he's not, then that's going to be a major disappointment, because why hide him or hold him back this entire time? So Mihawk has to be really important. I think in general, if he's a celestial dragon, I'm okay with it. The connection to Emu, if he's Candel's grandson or something like that, then that's kind of cool. It would build up the rivalry between him and Shanks. But now I'm like, okay, I'm curious about your journey. Like, what has your journey been? Being a celestial dragon, right? When did you leave them? Are you still connected to them? Do you still, talk to your mom? Is she alive? Do you know who that is? So it makes Mihawk a very, very interesting character. Where maybe even if he doesn't know he's a celestial dragon, things could get really freaky. But no, I think he has to be, bro. It's too much there. He has to be at this point.
Yeah, it's just the easiest way for Oda to make him relevant, outside of just the Zoro battle.
Well, we're in One Piece at this point. If somebody has a big enough name, then that means that their lineage is of some relevance. That's just what it is. That's just what One Piece has become. If you're a big name, you probably have a connection to somebody that's a big name. Yeah, once Nami's, backstory gets revealed, I wouldn't be surprised if she has some tie to like Big Mom or something crazy.
Yeah, and watch, Nami's gonna be another celestial dragon. We're just gonna get like celestial dragon piece, brother.
It's just what it is, Like even somebody like Frankie
Zaza.
now know like Frankie's Queen's son. Like what? That's insane.
That's such a funny drop, dude. Because like they did not interact at all at Wano. Like they notoriously have never been in the same room. Oda managed to like skirt around that entirely.
It's borderline unnecessary, but it's funny, and I'm happy it got confirmed.
Yeah. It's like one of those things that, the fan base eats it up. The characters will never know.
Yeah, but it's lore that, I don't know, anime onlys would never know unless they incorporate it into the anime.
Yeah, so the anime onlys would have no clue unless they just look at the dances and say, oh, they dance funny. They dance the same, and that's it.
If you're an anime only, there are a lot of things that you probably don't know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things where you're like, what? Like Rob Lucci showing back up. You're like, oh, that's dope. That's cool.
But there's like no build up for it.
Right. Bon Clay. It's just a bunch of things where the cover stories that you would never
you're
know about.
right. They don't know that Bon Clay's alive.
No.
Damn,
they shouldn't
that
know.
Sucks.
They shouldn't know. If you're connected enough, especially on YouTube, you know that Bon Clay's alive. If you're not and you're just watching and going about your day, you have no idea. You're like, man, I like Bon Clay a lot. Rest in peace.
Yeah, it sucks that he died. I can't believe Magellan did that to him.
And then eventually you see Bon Clay and you're like, what? Wait, what? What happened? So, it's nothing like One Piece, bro. It's like the world is beyond the manga. The manga is the favorite card, is the SBS, bro. It's even like little notes by Sandman clarifying things from the manga. Even Arter and his like breakdowns from like different things that happen. But something I was thinking about with like now with like Leuven and Candel and the font, I wonder how different it is reading One Piece like understanding Japanese, where like some of our, connections, we're like, how does that even make sense? And they're like, well, that was obvious based on like, how it's written. And I was thinking about like things in English that we watch where we're like, okay, the connections are obvious in a similar fashion.
Like, I guess the most prominent example would be the Zaza reveal, right? The name drop. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, it's a sound effect. But the thing is that Nika is a Japanese sound effect as well. So that's something that I bet the Japanese fan base probably would pick up a lot quicker than we would.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something in English that got dropped and we're like, oh, it makes sense. That would be difficult if somebody didn't speak English.
Ooh, there's a really funny one. You don't play Tekken, like these fighting games, right? There's one guy, the director. He's not the director anymore, but occasionally they'll drop like seasonal DLC with new stages, new characters, yada yada. And for the longest time, people were like adding him on Twitter saying, yo, you have to add Waffle House as a fighting arena. And he never understood it. And then people try to describe it to him like, oh, no. Waffle House is a real place in America. It's a franchise. Yeah. But get this, around 3 to 4 a.m., occasionally you'll see a fight break out. And, he just doesn't understand the American culture. And it's funny because I believe it was like a week ago, he came to America and went to a Waffle House and bought the menu just to bring it back home as a souvenir. He's like, I finally went to Waffle House, everybody.
He probably still doesn't understand it. Yeah, Waffle House. I think I went to Waffle House in Houston, and it was super crowded, man. It was,
dude.
Like,
that's the thing. It's the culture, right?
It was super crowded. I'm like,
people love Waffle House, man.
But then what happened is we went after an outing, so everybody was kind of like a bit inebriated. Yeah, it's like, oh, we need something to eat. So when you go there, it's like that's like the spot people are going to get food after going out. So it's not that far fetched for things to kind of get started.
Yeah, to get heated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, the bar's closed. Where do you go? I don't want to go home yet. Let's go to Waffle House and sober up.
Waffle House.
Now you're going to get into a fight. That's just how it is, man.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think for the most part, most fights are avoidable, but if you're a bit drunk, And
if you're at Waffle House, which gives you like a ×2 multiplier.
Yeah, exactly. It is like a canon event.
Yeah. Which you're gonna higher likelihood.
It's an unskippable scene. You just got to go through it.
It's like a bar in One Piece. Just somebody's gonna fight
for some reason. But you can't avoid it. Just get your food and go. Don't eat there.
I mean, they don't really do takeout, but yeah. Also, they have like a jukebox there, and that usually brings in some trouble too.
They do have a jukebox there.
Yeah, because people are gonna like try to skip your song. You're just like, you have too many songs. It's something, dude.
They do have a jukebox. That's hilarious.
And what we're trying to say, guys, is that the Japanese probably picked up the Dawn sound effect a lot faster than we did. And it's funny because like I would have never noticed this if I just didn't hop online. Like, I read this chapter and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I hopped online and people are like, yo, Mihawk, here he is. And then I started trying to fact check because it's hard to like go through and look at every Dawn we have in the story. But I looked at like, I think 15 different Dawns. And yeah, it's true, man. This is the one font that matches Mihawk's, as crazy as that sounds. It's so obscure. It's a small detail. Mihawk last had his Dawn like, it wasn't his intro. He had it when he showed up at the Barantier. But he recently had one like when he was last introduced. And it's just silly. It's a consistent thing that Oda's been doing just for Mihawk. So Candel having it, there's got to be some tie. My crackpot theory, I talked about this in my review, and I mentioned it here and there, but I do think that Candel is not a man-mare herself. I think she's actually a bavette.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because bavette is a French word. It's also Italian as well. The French thematics also tie into all of Brook's attacks. All of Brook's attacks, at least his fencing abilities, are all French-based. And since Brook is getting inspired by Candel in this chapter, and we know that he adopts Candel's fighting style, I think that's the through line.
I don't hate it.
And, of course, at God Valley, when they were talking about the Celestial Dragon families that are, beating everybody else when it comes to hunting down slaves, Fagarlands were number 1. Bavettes were number 2. and then Min Mares are number 3. And the funniest part is that we never saw any Bavettes at God Valley. You know, instead, Oda introduced the Satchel's family with Maffy, but he did not introduce the Bavettes. I think that's purposeful, and I think it might even be because Queen Kendall was there. I think she might have been there as the Bavette representative, but of course, you know, Oda didn't want to go through and give us every God Knight, so he probably hid her on that island.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that idea as far as the Bavettes and the Man Mayors. I think I'm ready for Mihawk to be just more relevant. But I think this is the beautiful thing about our community, where with the Don thing with Mihawk, it's like we're so invested, bro.
We are. It's I mean, honestly, these theories are kind of brain rot. I mean, I'm gonna be serious. I cooked it up. It's brain rot. It is.
I mean, I think as One Piece fans, well, I've done this where I've gone back and I'm rereading arcs just to try to find connections. You know, I'm rereading chapters, different things. I'm like, what's the connection here? Could it be a connection? And then sometimes your mind just kind of pieces it together and was like, I guess this makes sense. This could work. I could squint and see it. There's been times I'm talking to Japanese people like, yo, what does this mean? What is this? What about this? How many? I'm like, and I'm kind of forcing it to make sense sometimes, you know? I'm like, this makes sense to me. What about, like, can I have something to support it? Where it depends on, like, where a theory starts from. Because sometimes a theory can start from, like, how you feel and then you find evidence to support it, or, like, find the evidence and then, like, have it come together. But I'm here for it, man. Mihawk, let's go.
Come on, Mihawk. Become relevant again, brother. And I got the French thing for Mihawk. It's not confirmed by any means, but it's because he often is tied back to Serrano from the Monsters spinoff. And Serrano is actually French, so that's why I tie Mihawk to that as well. And I know this is very flimsy. Nobody should take this as canon, but in the 4Kids dub, where they gave everybody like a really distinctive accent, Mihawk's was French. But that was like a bajillion years ago, and that was like WB, and you know, that's kind of like a meme.
Well,
anything to make a theory work, anything for the agenda, really.
Yeah, you gonna pull that in?
No. I'm not bringing the Mihawk French thing in. Usually I omit that part, but everything else I add into the theory.
I think you should bring all of it in. I think you should actually play a clip from the One Piece 4Kids dub. Be like, guys, listen to this.
Yeah, it's Mihawk saying, no, solo. That's not French, is it? I don't think so. My racism is getting kind of bad. Like I was trying to do a Italian accent in my review video, but I did like an Indian accent instead, and I had to cut it out.
I don't know how those two intertwine, other than the fact that they both begin with I. Other than that, I don't know how there's an Indian accent and a crossover between an Italian accent. That's interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I've been out of the game for a while. Don't worry, guys. I'll play more like Call of Duty with my mic on.
Out of the accent game, or
yeah, I'll catch back up.
Okay. You just gotta get back into the lobbies.
Yeah, I got to get back into the lobbies. I've been playing too much like text-based games like League of Legends, so
you don't have the accents in your head on call, but they're just like melding into each other. You're like, Indian, Italian, I don't know,
Spanish, Chinese, What
do you think is your best accent that you can mimic right now?
Indian.
Is it because you've been talking to Par a lot?
I think so. I think Par's kind of rubbed off on me in that way, or now I just have like this Indian accent ready to like fire at a moment's notice. And I have a couple of Indian friends too, so.
Yeah, because I think my favorite thing about you and Par's videos is just like, it's like I'm watching a lecture.
It's like you're going to class.
And Par has a talent, man. Par knows how to keep it going, man. Par just keeps going and going. So yeah, maybe you're just like, you're like in an Indian classroom every week for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, and Par has like a thick accent too.
Yeah. So it's gonna rub off on you.
It happens, man.
Do you like Indian food?
No.
Huh.
I'm very basic. So I'm really picky when it comes to food. So there's a lot of cuisine I don't really like.
You don't like Indian. You don't like Italian.
Nope.
That's interesting.
I don't even like Chinese food, believe it or not.
That's shocking.
Yeah. yeah. I don't like Thai food really.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not just like other races, guy. Don't worry. It's
what about
it's my own blood too.
Korean barbecue.
I like Korean barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the sides with Korean barbecue, but I like the meat and potatoes of it.
Okay. Huh. That's interesting.
I'm not a big like kimchi enjoyer.
There's no cuisine that I really hate, but I tend to stick to what I know. I try to venture out every now and again where it's like, oh, I'm at a new restaurant. Let me just try this. But more often than not, I'm like, I should just try something I know. Just stick to my guns.
I mean, that's how it is, right? Like, when you're a kid, you can't really choose where your parents are going. But I feel like as an adult, it's like, I mean, there's a lot of things I do like. So it's like, why would I venture out? I'm just chilling, dude.
I think that's one of the best things about being an adult, kind of making those decisions where it's just like, I feel like this today. I'm going to go eat this.
Yeah, exactly. So by the time this recording's out, well, actually, I don't know. Around the time this recording releases, the anime should be getting its Mosa reveal. We're going to see the Mosa Loki scene. Do you think we're going to finally know who the hell Mosa is?
No.
Really? You think they're going to distort the voice?
Yeah, I think they're going to play a little bit. I mean, the anime does treat fans a bit dumber than the manga does. So they might use the actual character, but no.
Here's the thing. I think we'll at least be able to tell the gender. Because if it's a girl, you know that the Shirahoshi for most of the theaters are going to lock in.
Maybe the pronouns would be on the Dendenmushi.
That'd be kind of nuts.
Progressive. Like I said, they'd have to distort it. Like I mean, the Mosa theories is Shirahoshi's at the top. They've been Yarul.
Yarul is crazy.
Yeah, there've been Yarul theories. There've been some King Neptune theories.
Where do you fall?
I think Mosa is a character that doesn't really exist. It is a figment of Loki's imagination, and Mosa is actually his dad speaking to him internally.
I hate that.
I know. I just made it up.
There's an episode like that in The Walking Dead, and I hate that episode so much.
There's an episode like that in The Boys. Well, not an episode.
It happens often.
Yeah, it's like a sequence, like an entire season, it seems like.
I don't like episodes like that. They freak me out, man.
I don't mind it. I think if it's done well, I'm like, oh, okay. That's
scary, dude. It's like a ghost.
But you're talking to somebody you don't know.
Or just like talking to somebody who's dead. Who doesn't exist. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
So, do you think that this flashback with Brook is going to get hijacked near the end of it? Kind of like how Loki's flashback about King Harold got hijacked by Roxy Zabek. Do you think at any point we're going to switch to like a God Knight POV, maybe even Don Marone POV, or just another character in general? Like maybe even Rookie Roger, because, we're getting around to the time where Roger's born. So if we have just a couple of time jumps, we could see teenage Roger, perhaps. What do you think?
I think we have to. I don't think Brook is interesting enough to kind of carry this entire flashback. I mean, it's just the truth, Like, as much as I love Brook, and Brook is like one of my favorite Straw Hats of all time, I don't think we can just focus on Brook here to kind of connect it to Emu. I think you have to incorporate a bunch of different characters, go a bunch of different routes, different perspectives, different POVs. And it's like Brook is here, but it's like this thing is kind of boosting this flashback as well. Like you talked about the Loki flashback talking about Harold, it ended up into a Rocks flashback and a God Valley flashback, right? So it just kept growing. Then we had with the Rocks Pirates, that enhanced it. Let me think about the Odin flashback. The Odin flashback turned into a Whitebeard flashback, turned into a Roger flashback, turned into Roger versus Whitebeard flashback. It kind of enhanced it. We saw, who else we saw in the flash? We saw Frankie in that flashback
we
as
saw
well.
Frankie
right?
in there as a kid. Yeah.
It was stuff about Fishman Island and Shirahoshi. So it's like you use that time to enhance the current story. So yeah, Brook is the catalyst, but I don't think Brook will be the focus to make this flashback as great as it could be.
I think the most realistic jumping point we could get is maybe just the God Knights, but even then, I don't think people are like super infatuated with them minus the Figdarlins. So that's a really tough carry. Like, as far as Mihawk goes, that's so far in the future that I don't think we're going to get Mihawk in this flashback either. So the only person I think that could like realistically hijack it might just be Emu himself or the Gorsei.
I think it just has to connect. I think for most fans, as long as a flashback connects, we're kind of okay with it. You know, with Kuma, when we got the flashback where he's like looking at Luffy in the forest or like different things that he did.
That was kind of scary.
It was insane.
Dude, when I saw that panel, sorry to like go on a tangent, when I saw that panel of Kuma watching Luffy, I got like shivers on my back, dude. That kind of freaked me out too.
Why?
It's scary, man. Like, somebody's watching you. Like, imagine right now, like, it could be the most wholesome thing. Like, let's say it's somebody you knew from high school. I don't know. Just somebody came back after like 20 plus years and they're just looking through your window at you and like, oh, I'm glad Brago's doing really well. And it's like, yeah, that didn't mean any harm, but if you knew that right now somebody's watching you through your window, even with good intentions, wouldn't that be a little bit freaky?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be a little freaky.
Kuma.
It's different, right? It's almost like this person ends up surprising me with like a BMW or something, right? But then I look on video and see them watching me, and I'm like, whoa. It's like, why were you watching? Well, I was trying to figure out exactly what car you like. But like, because I have the context of now, I know I'm getting a BMW. It wouldn't freak me out as much because I'm like, you had good intentions. Just like with Kuma watching Luffy, I didn't feel bad about it because I'm like, we know like what happens going forward.
Yeah, it's not like a feels bad moment. It's more like, ooh, God.
It's a little creepy. It's a little creepy.
Like, he should have introduced himself. All I'm saying, he maybe should have just walked by saying, hey, young man, and then just keep on going. He should have announced himself. Because Luffy turned around and like,
Yeah. You don't want to get too close. You don't want to get too close. He's just like, I just want to see him. I just want to observe him.
Ghost move.
We've done that before. We want to like get too close to somebody. Just want to get closer to see, but we don't want to get too close.
What's the worst smell you smelt?
I used to work at a meat market. I would say freshly cut pig.
For me, this is gonna sound very stereotypical. It was an anime convention. There was a guy who sometimes hotel prices are kind of pricey, so me and a bunch of friends, we like, piled our money together like, oh, let's go to this anime convention. It was like 10 years ago. And this dude, man, hopped in my car. Worst smelling person I've ever like experienced in my life. And in my head, I was just like, of course it's an anime cosplayer. Like, why do you have to feed into the stereotype, dude? Come on.
Did you say anything to him?
No, I didn't say anything.
So you're not to say anything to them, good person?
No. I mean, what am I going to say? Hey, you smell bad, put on some cologne? Like, nah, dude, like we're in the car, like doesn't have anything on him. So it's like, okay. And plus like we have our friends there too. And it's like, yeah, this is odd.
They've been in it so long, they can't smell it anymore. They just bask in it. It's like their essence, their aura.
Yeah, they're aura farming.
Yeah.
Speaking of aura farming, what animes are you watching right now?
Witch Hat Atelier, Demons of the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. It's not anime, but it's Invincible. What are you watching?
Right now, really, it's just Re:Zero and One Piece. I'm rewatching a lot of like random animes on the side. Like I'm watching like the old school like Baki the Grappler.
I hear that somebody is in Tekken now.
Yeah. Yujiro Hanma is in Tekken. Second time we're bringing Tekken up in this little podcast here.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, when I talk about like fighting games with friends or whatever, it feels like Tekken is the standard.
Tekken and Street Fighter are the standard. They're the most popular ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones that really just take off all the time. And I feel like for Yujiro Hanma, people are really excited. That's a character that puts asses in seats because he's like the strongest character in Baki. He's Baki's father.
I don't remember like what year it was exactly, but it had to have been at least like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Just playing Tekken. I remember, was it Heihachi?
Heihachi, yeah.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Old dude, mustache, hella jacked.
Yeah. That
was like their version of like a badass Master Roshi.
Oh my God. It was him and was it Yoshimitsu?
Yeah, Yoshimitsu's who I played normally.
Yeah. And then there was Law and...
You remember all these guys. Nice.
Jin.
Yeah.
And there was the Panther guy. It was a guy with a regular body and a panther head, right?
King and Armored King. Yeah.
King. Yeah. Yeah. Those are the characters that like stood out from back then that we used to play. But
I used to love Alex and Roger Jr. It was so Roger Jr. is this kangaroo. And then Alex is a velociraptor. It's so stupid. I used to love those characters as a kid.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then they have this other character who's like just a wooden doll.
More than Tekken, I probably played Fatal Fury a bit more.
Ooh,
yeah.
Fatal Fury. That one died off really hard. They had a game come out, I believe, 2 years ago. It didn't really take off. Fighting games are just such a niche market nowadays. It's hard for like those games to really thrive if you're not like
unless they're
top 3.
Unless they're super casual, it's not. I think out of every game, fighting games are probably the most intimidating for casuals. Because it's kind of like you gotta pick up the game, you gotta kind of like the characters, like the designs, like the system, the layout, and then you gotta compete against like people that's been playing this game for a long time. So it's very easy to kind of check out, be like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
And you have to find like the right balance of like, okay, it's kind of casual, but it's also like it also has a high skill ceiling. Because if it's too easy, then it's gonna feel
right.
People won't stick around like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and it all ties back to us needing a One Piece fighting game. One day it's gonna happen. Burning Blood doesn't count. We need it, guys. I don't know what the hell Toei's doing.
That's why Super Smash Bros. Is the perfect fighting game. And why,
still so popular.
So many years later, you can go online right now and find a match.
Yeah, you could find a match in seconds.
It just covers all the bases. It's casual, can be very difficult. A lot of great characters that you like. Easy to pick up. It's just, the pinnacle.
So, final talking point. But when we leave this Brook flashback, whether it's 2-3 chapters from now, whether it's in 2027, what is the first thing you think is going to happen after we're done talking to Brook? Do you think Gunko's going to get freed? Is Imu going to wrap up Loki? Will Luffy show up? Are we going to go straight to the God Knight fights? Or are we going to go somewhere else? What do you think is going to happen, Brago?
Okay, let me put on my Oda hat. I have to remind you guys why you're here. So go immediately back to the Imu and Loki fight. Time has passed, but the fight is nearing its end. Loki's bleeding. He's struggling. Ragnar is saying things we don't understand, and Imu's talking smack a bit more, but we have more context from the flashback. Then we jump to more than likely Killingham and Sanji, get some more context there. Maybe they start fighting. Sanji does some Mr. Prince stuff, and I think we probably end off the chapter where Luffy is now approaching, and that's probably it. I think it's just going to be Oda does it every time. It's like a recap update. Like, hey, by the way, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. This is what's happening.
Oh, you're right. He did do that for the Loki flashback. We left the Loki flashback.
Went right back to
it was a recap chapter.
Yeah, recap.
Yeah.
And I don't like recap chapters. Not gonna lie.
Oh, me neither.
Not gonna lie. But it's necessary though. You know what I mean? I understand it. Like because how long the flashback was 20 chapters. However,
people forget.
Yeah, people forget, especially if you're like, I try not to use my understanding or things that I remember from the story as a barometer because I'm reading it damn near every day. I'm going back. I'm reading it. I'm doing so much. It's like it's easy for me to remember the flashback and things that happened before the flashback, as opposed to like if I'm reading a series and just going about my day for the rest of the week until I read the series again. It's like, wait, what happened last week? And so, if you take a 15 chapter break from the main story, yeah, bro, update me, please.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get that with the Elbaph after we leave Brook's flashback, depending on how long it is. If it really is just like 2 chapters more, then we might not get that recap. But if it's like 10 chapters long, yeah, Oda's going to give us like half a chapter full of like, hey, don't forget, guys, here's like a map. Here's what's happening. This guy's giving us the lowdown.
Definitely a map.
Yeah, the map is always fun.
Well, I think what happens, the first thing that happens, now that I think about it, is that after the flashback, we go back to Brook and Gunko. Gunko probably wakes up and gets out of the thing.
Possibly, but Gunko getting out of the ice, that also means that Loki is down. Loki and Ragnar are down, or Ragnar like undoes the ice himself. We don't know. It could be like Boa's power where Ragnar actually has to actively undo it, or it could be where Ragnar gets like pounded so hard, literally Emu's just slamming it at him, that Ragnar undoes it unwillingly.
I think the idea of Ragnar getting slammed and pounded so hard that he just randomly undoes the ice, cinema.
And Gunko, once she's free, do you think Emu's going to instantly turn her back to an amnesiac? Or do you think that Emu's going to try to take her down? Because, if Gunko has all of her memories, then she's going to assist us.
We are now at the point where we have characters that have nowhere to go. Because if Gunko stays alive, she's going to stay with us. But then at some point, Emu's time limit has to come into play. If Gunko has been taken over ever since she was a kid, all those years ago, that's over, 50 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take a while to come to terms with what she did, because this is probably the first time she's gotten to process all those things that she did.
Unless she's been there this entire time. Like a backseat passenger to this weird God Knight personality.
That's fucking tragic.
Like, she snaps out of it, she's automatically like, hey, Emu, it's your turn, I've been waiting for this.
It wouldn't be crazy. Well, it would be crazy, because I don't see this happening. Where Brook kind of acts like Luffy for a sabbatical to kind of spend time with Gunko. But more than likely, it's just going to be a part of the epilogue of Elbaph. We're just like sitting around talking together, playing music. I think what makes the most sense is Gunko staying in Elbaph.
If she doesn't die.
Oda doesn't really kill the princesses, does he?
No, but he could switch it up. Because Gunko's in a weird position where she's 77 years old, but she's also like 17 years old or something. So, once Emu takes away his powers, there's a chance that she's kaput.
She just ages.
Yeah, she ages up like Old Tier from Fairy Tail, your favorite anime.
Yeah, I still don't see him killing her, though.
Yeah, personally, I would like it if, at the end of story, Brook, Gunko, and Laboon are hanging out at Twin Capes with Crocus. I think that's like the ideal.
Yeah. Her and Crocus gets married.
No. That sounds not ideal.
Because Brook is obviously marrying Laboon. Inevitably, I think for Brook, he's going to be alive by himself. So the bad things are going to continue, where he's going to sing that song again. Because, I'm sure everybody's seen that fan-made image.
Oh, Brook sitting at the cliff.
All the Straw Hats are dead, and then he's in front of all their, like, coffins. And, it seems like he's cursed with this, like, sad existence. Because I don't know how does Brook die?
Just has to, like, drown or get pounded to dust. A hydraulic press would kill Brook, I think.
Maybe, but he can still float around in soul form.
Just drown the soul form.
Can he inhabit, like, another skeleton?
Maybe. Yeah, there's not really, like, a limit to the fruit that we know of. I mean, here's the thing, though. This is why I think Gunko is such a great addition to the story for Brook. Because Gunko, if she doesn't lose her immortality, she's potentially like the best person that could be with Brook. Like, just go out throughout the ages, traveling, doing their music. Because, like, Brook would be immortal, Gunko's immortal. Laboon, I don't know how old these whales live to, but I mean, he's going to be around for a minute at least.
Or would have to establish a different way of Gunko's aging, you know, or her being de-aged. You know, it could be a situation where, because of the unique way in which she was kind of taken over, her aging, it doesn't do the same thing as Saturn where he turns to dust, but it's like now she starts aging from this point forward, you know? So she actually has a childhood with Brook. Kind of like Bonnie in a way, you know, where we have like these kids, these young girls that's kind of under crew and we're kind of protecting them. Because it is unfortunate that everything that happened to her and it's against her will, you know? So,
yeah,
you know, you hope that she can have a happy ending.
She's going to be a great asset, though, when you really think about it. Because of how much she should know about Emu and the God Knights and the Gorosei, if she survives Emu's onslaught here in Elbaph, just gotta imagine, man, like, what she could tell us afterwards. Like, oh, she probably knows about the straw hat in the freezer. She knows about Emu's flower garden. She knows probably Emu's weakness even, because she's been with him for, like, all these years. She has all the dirty intel.
A part of the debrief at the end of Elbaph that's gonna happen. Yeah.
Dude, she probably even knows, like, who took Ginny.
What if she did it?
Actually, I want that revolutionary girl.
That would be a very interesting conversation.
Like, Bonnie would want to kill her, dude.
Oh, man. Like, yeah, that was a mission that we received to abduct.
Maybe, like, she didn't want Ginny for herself, but she's the one who did the Ginny kidnapping. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we didn't see the exact person, so they could put anybody there.
Yeah, true.
That'd be an interesting conversation.
That'd be kind of nuts, dude. Yeah, and if there was Straw Hat infighting, it would probably be Brook defending Shuri, and then I don't know who, like, I guess, like you said, Bonnie would be, like, going after her, and he's like, whoa, it wasn't her. But I mean, at the same time, it wasn't Gunko, though, because it's, like, an alternate personality, which we need that explained. Right. Like, we don't know why Gunko is, not herself. Like, it could be a thing where, like, she goes through so much trauma that, like, she erased all prior memories. Or it could be that Emu just mind wiped her, which...
I don't want full-on fighting, just like an explanation. Just like them talking things through. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Give us the talkathon, man. But with that being said, we are done talking now. Please let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, it was a very short, sweet, and simple chapter. Good chapter. But with it, the topics... We're kind of just bouncing around, dude. It
was an amazing chapter for me. I don't know about you, Sai.
I said it was amazing. I said it was good. Especially that cover page, man. The jellyfish thing, come on.
I love jellyfish.
People are saying this is proof that Emu's more than one person, too. You know that, right?
Ah, what an astute observation, people.
I mean, the jellyfish that are here apparently is the type of jellyfish that's made from, like, a bunch of smaller organisms coming together. So they're like, yo, like, it's between this and the Rat King line. Like, Emu's more than one person. I think that theory's growing on me, man. It's growing.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it.
Dude, just wait, man. We're gonna cut back to the Loki fight. Emu's gonna say, all right, Jonathan, it's your turn to fight Loki. And then Jonathan one-shots Loki. Ooh!
Is this like Split?
Yeah, they're just taking turns in the light.
But then they're gonna have a good, like, person in there as well. Run away, guys!
Because they refer to themselves as Mu. Maybe Emu is the good one. But Mu is the bad one.
Maybe. Emu's the one that kind of put everything together for the world, but then Mu took over.
Yeah.
Like, create an alternate personality to kind of deal with the things that they had to get done.
Mu would be the beast.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Next chapter. Wait. Peter's going to come in and one-tap Loki.
Peter?
Yeah, it's another person in the light. Yeah.
Griffin?
Maybe. Peter Griffin could be one of the original 20 Kings.
What is the first thing you think about when you think about One Piece?
The first thing I think
The
about,
first thing that comes to mind.
Fishman Island.
That's insane.
Is it?
Yes.
How so?
What about Fishman Island?
It's usually like the outfits that the Straw Hats have. Because I don't know if you know, but like in all like the posters, promotionals, video
For the
games
post time
especially.
skip. That poster.
Dude,
I get it.
Post time skip, they all
Yeah.
like whenever you see the Straw Hats, it's always them in the Fishman Island outfits. We never get anything else in those damn video games.
Well,
so
to
I do
be
think of
fair,
Fishman Island. It's just
they did heavily
right there.
promote like those. Those are the outfits post time skip. So like that
we have
was
better
like
outfits.
you talking
The
about like
Straw
what they
Hats
had
have so
on,
many good
what they had on in
outfits.
Sabaody, right? Like with them next to the Sunny and
Yes.
yeah, that was heavy. That was heavy promotional material. Okay, I get it now.
It's still around today.
It is. It is. I think I don't know. When I think about One Piece, the first thing that comes to mind is like Nami and Luffy. Luffy put his hat on Nami's head. That image is just like the first thing I think about One Piece. That's like Luffy doing that, like the walk to Arlong Park.
If I had to go with an image, so I don't own a lot of like physical manga, but when I was a kid, I actually did have a lot of the One Piece manga. And I mean, obviously it's iconic at this point, but the one I vividly remember is just, I think it's just volume 1. The one where it's like Luffy, Zoro, and Nami on that little ass boat.
Yeah.
I have that image in my head. That's one that I probably won't forget.
If I go a little bit deeper, it's Robin saying she wants to live. Then it's Luffy punching Charlos. Zoro saying he's never going to lose again. Shanks calling Luffy an idiot after he gave him milk.
I got Sanji at the Baratier on his knees saying goodbye.
Yeah.
The fucking don't catch a cold.
Oh, Luffy on the piano with Brook.
The bubbles popping at Sabaody.
Oh, Luffy reaching out. I think the image in Sabaody kind of stands out is Luffy reaching out to Robin. Because wasn't Robin the last one?
Yeah, Robin was the last one.
Right? That was the one that's kind of like sticks out because she's like, Luffy. Because she doesn't like scream Luffy.
She says it a little bit louder, but she doesn't scream it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of chilling. Because like, fuck. You just said you're going to protect her.
That was a good Robin outfit, by the way. People still use that one for like a lot of like hentai.
Oh. Didn't know that.
Yeah, you'll see it floating around every now and then. Well, with that being said, let us know what you guys are thinking about when you think about One Piece. We love to hear it down there. And we'll catch you guys whenever One Piece comes back.
You say?
Peace
We'd
out.
love to hear it down there, like in the regular world, like a celestial dragon.
Comment section, man. Come on. People say it like that all the time.
Tell us what you like.
Tell us what you think down there.